Welcome to another episode of the Business Hour. On this episode, I'm going to talk about Google Business. I brushed over it once before in a previous episode about SEO and how you can improve your ranking organically, but I really want to focus on just Google Business in this episode because I think it's undervalued at the moment and not a lot of people are paying as much attention as they should to it. We're actually heading out to see one of our clients now as well. Arash, who's a barber in Baronia. Now, Arash started maybe 18 months ago in a small little shop off the beaten track. Very small shop, it only had one chair. And all he really did was launch his Google business page, encourage customers to review his page. And because he does good work and he amassed a stack of 5-star reviews, he now is the number one result when you search for barber in that area. We also helped him optimize the page with the use of photos and the content that's on there. And now, 18 months later, he's opened up in a new location right next door to Coles. So it's got about 8 or 9 chairs, and it's a much bigger operation with a beauty section to it and all sorts of things. So he's grown in leaps and bounds, and the main reason for that was his Google business page, and that he really embraced it and encouraged people to leave reviews. So we'll show you the store when we get there. We're just on the way now, about 6 o'clock, 6:15. But one of the things that you want to make sure that you do when you register your Google business page is that you verify your page. Now, Google's got a few different ways that you can verify the page. If it is an established business and you're listed in a couple of directories, Google is intelligent enough to scan those directories and find your phone number and call you on your landline. If it's a brand new business or a brand new phone number or it's old details that exist on the internet, you might need to wait for a code to be sent out. It will come in the form of a postcard. It'll be sent out to your physical address. And they might need some further information. They might need you to upload a utility bill and things like that, just to make sure that you are a legitimate business and you have a physical front. Now, Google Business is not only restricted to physical retail outlets, it's also for services. So if you're a plumber, for example, you might be based from home, and that's not really relevant to people that are searching, but the area that you cover or that you service is relevant. So if you're a service and you're not a physical location, Google will ask you this, and it'll ask you to input the suburbs in which you operate. You want to make sure that you fill out the details as comprehensively and accurately as possible, because this will lend itself to your company appearing at the top of the results. So fill out the about section, don't just skim over it. Fill out the impressum, all those different sections. Put some photos on there of work that you've done in the past or of your equipment, whatever it is that you think is going to encourage people to buy. There's a provision in Google which now allows you to put a video. It'll also allows you to put a virtual tour in there, so people can literally click on that video or click on that link and walk around your place of business. One of our clients, Fit a Box, recently did this, and you can literally walk around his whole gym. You can look at the different areas in the gym and different equipment that they've got, the weights, etc., and the different parts, including the boxing ring, the weights area, the cardio area, etc. So this is extremely powerful. If your business needs it, then this is something that you should definitely invest in and look into. The other thing that you want to make sure you do is not only just set up this page and forget about it, which is what most businesses do. You want to actually set your username, which Google now allows you to do. So for example, with us, it's Loud Media Agency. And you want to have a link at the bottom of your invoices or on your email signature or wherever you think is appropriate on your website, etc., for people to go to leave a review. Make it as easy as possible for people to leave a review for you. Everyone's got a Google account, so it's a matter of, are they going to do it? So if you make it as easy as humanly possible for someone to give you a review, you're setting yourself up for success. There's a flip side to that coin, because if you have a lot of unhappy customers and it's easy to access your Google page, they're going to go on there and they're going to leave you honest and sometimes negative feedback. people find your shop?
You.
How people find your shop?
Google.
Google?
Google. Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Google, that's really important.
7:45 and we've just finished with Arash. He's talking to us about his ideas for his shop. Now I mentioned before he moved into a much larger shop next door to a Coles, so he's got the benefit of foot traffic now. There's one of the few barber shops that he really over services his clients. Like he's got beer on tap, he's plumbed all of this in. It wasn't there to begin with. He's also got a full coffee machine, like a proper barista 3 group head coffee machine, just for his clients. And what he's looking to do now is to capitalize on that, the fact that he's already got it in and he's paying a barista to be there during the day. He wants to also service the local precinct with his coffee, and he's telling me how good his barista and coffee is, so it makes sense to make the most of that instead of just doing his clients. He wants to also do the people that frequent that shopping centre and the staff in that local area. That's one thing that he wants to do, and he's also launched like a beauty section within the shop, and he needs some additional signage and some marketing for that, and eventually he wants to look at getting a website up and running for each of those categories. So one for just the coffee side of the business and another one for the beauty section. So he's got some big plans to put in place, and if anyone can do it, he can, and he's in a good location. So let's see what he does. Another thing that I want to talk about is he got a negative review on Friday from a new barber that he was trialing out. So he told me that he's getting rid of that barber because he's had a couple of complaints about him, and we're just talking about how to address that review. The one thing you don't want to do is ignore reviews, no matter how bad they are, because a prospective client that lands on your page and sees a negative review that's hasn't been responded to or is left unaddressed, that's almost an admission of guilt or an admission that what that person's saying is true. If a negative review is there and you can go back and you can offer a suitable solution or some kind of compromise or compensation, often other prospective clients will accept it, and at the very least they know that you take feedback on, especially when you've got a whole host of 5-star reviews and you've got one bad review and you say that it's because of a new staff member that is no longer there and that you're willing to compensate them with a free haircut or something like that. They're more inclined to come back, and they may, more often than not, they will remove that bad review and leave a really good review if they're happy with the service. So it's definitely worthwhile addressing the reviews that come through. Even the good reviews, by addressing them and thanking people for taking the time out to leave that feedback, that'll often encourage them to return to your place of business as well. So make sure you constantly respond and address the reviews that are being left for you. That's it for this episode. If you like what you've heard, if someone needs to see this, please tag them in the comments below. If you've got any questions, leave them for me to reply to, and I'll catch you on the next episode.